Despite his many great obsessions, the genius mind of Nikola Tesla was apparently obsessed with time travel as well. He worked on a time machine and reportedly succeeded, saying the following: "I could see the past, present, and future, all at the same time." The idea that humans are able to travel in time has captured the imaginations of millions around the globe. If we look back at history, we will find numerous texts that can be interpreted as evidence of time travel. When Albert Einstein published his theory of relativity in 1905, it created a buzz in the scientific community, opening the page for many questions, such as time traveling. There is even evidence of time travel in the Bible, according to Eric von Daniken. In the Bible, the prophet Jeremiah was sitting together with a few of his friends, and there was a young boy. His name was Abimelech. And Jeremiah said to Abimelech, "Go out of Jerusalem, there is a hill, and collect some figs for us." The boy went out and collected the fresh figs. All of a sudden, Abimelech hears some noise and wind in the air, and he becomes unconscious. He had a blackout. After a time, he wakes up again, and he saw it was nearly the evening. So when he runs back to the society, the city was full of strange soldiers, and he says, "What's going on here? Where are Jeremiah and all the others?" An old man said to him, "That was 62 years ago." The Mahabharata is one of the two major ancient Sanskrit epics of ancient India. If we look at the Mahabharata, written in the 8th century BC, King Ravana is described as traveling to the heavens to meet with the creator god Brahma, only to return to earth hundreds of years in the future. In Japan, the legend of Urashima Taro describes the tale of a fisherman's visit to the protector god of the sea in an underwater palace for what seemed like only 3 days. When he returns to his fishing village, he finds that it's been 300 years that he's been gone. Maybe all of these myths inspired great thinkers to try and figure out a way to achieving time travel. Not long ago, a team of scientists from the University of Queensland, Australia, have simulated how time-traveling photons might behave, indicating that at least on a quantum level, the grandfather paradox, which demonstrates how time travel is not possible, can be resolved. Using photons, single particles of light, researchers simulated quantum particles traveling to the past. After studying their behaviors, researchers revealed possible anomalous aspects of modern-day physics. Nikola Tesla was beyond a doubt the greatest genius of the 20th century. Our way of life today, the technology that we take for granted, is all possible because of this one incredible man. However, despite all of his contributions to science, his name is little remembered outside the field of electronics and physics. In fact, Thomas Edison is often mistakenly credited in school textbooks with inventions that were developed and patented by Tesla. Most scholars acknowledge that Tesla's obscurity is partially due to his eccentric ways and fantastic claims during the waning years of his life. It is now known that many of these fantastic inventions of Tesla are scientifically accurate and workable. It has simply taken mankind this long to catch up to the astonishing ideas of a man who died in 1943. When Tesla died, on January 7, 1943, at the age of 86, representatives of the Office of Alien Property, at the request of the FBI, went to the Hotel New Yorker and seized all of Tesla's belongings. The Office of Alien Property Custodian was an office within the government of the United States during World War I and again during World War II, serving as a custodian of enemy property to property that belonged to United States enemies. 2 truckloads of papers, furniture, and artifacts were sent under seal to the Manhattan Storage and Warehouse Company. This load was added to the almost 30 barrels and bundles that had been in storage since the 1930s, and the entire collection was sealed under orders from the Office of Alien Property. Strange behavior, considering that Tesla was a legal American citizen. After Tesla's death, There was a scramble by the United States government to find all of his papers, notes, and research before other foreign powers could find them. Tesla's nephew, Savo Kosanovic, reported that before the Office of Alien Property had arrived, someone else had obviously gone through Tesla's belongings and took an unknown amount of personal notes and papers. It was known by the FBI that German intelligence had already spirited away a sizable amount of Tesla's research several years before his death. This stolen material, it is thought, would eventually result in the development of a Nazi flying saucer. The United States were going to make sure that this would not happen again. Anything even remotely associated with the great man was quickly confiscated and lost within the secret networks of pre-World War II America. Nevertheless, more than a dozen boxes of Tesla's belongings left behind at hotels like the Waldorf Astoria, the Governor Clinton Hotel, and the St. Regis had already been sold to salvagers to pay off Tesla's outstanding bills. Most of these boxes, and the secrets they contained, have never been found. We are whirling through endless space with an inconceivable speed. All around us, everything is spinning, everything is moving, everywhere there is energy. There must be some way of availing ourselves of this energy more directly. Then, with the light obtained from the medium, with the power derived from it, with every form of energy obtained without effort from the store forever inexhaustible, humanity will advance with giant strides. The mere contemplation of these magnificent possibilities expands our minds, strengthens our hopes, and fills our hearts with supreme delight. Tesla was apparently eager to tell those interested in his life and science not to dismiss ideas that appear supernatural or not of science. His idea of the term supernatural was just things we still can't explain scientifically, which nevertheless are completely possible. Physics extends beyond what is scientifically known today. The future will show that what we now call occult or the supernatural is based on a science not yet developed. There are places where time and space are naturally bent. An example is the strange Lordsburg door, located near Lordsburg, New Mexico. Periodically, as the door opens, a tree stump with a human leg embedded in it is seen. The Bermuda Triangle is also considered a time-traveling portal. There is some evidence that these fluxes in space and time can be artificially induced. This appears to have been the case with the USS Eldridge, which took part in the Philadelphia experiment on August 15, 1943. The studies and findings of the brilliant inventor Nikola Tesla and the theoretician Albert Einstein are both reported to have been involved in this experiment. The object was to render the ship invisible by wrapping the hull in inch-thick cable, through which a high-frequency signal from an elaborate system of generators and Tesla coils was induced. The results were disastrous. When activated, the ship generated a green fog and disappeared from Philadelphia, reappearing in Norfolk Harbor 24 hours later. Many of the crew ended up embedded in the walls of the ship. Others became insane. Some were mercifully dispatched with a pistol shot to the head. It seems that Nikola Tesla may have worked on time travel before modern science even thought it was possible. According to reports, in 1895, Tesla made a shocking discovery suggesting that time and space could be influenced by magnetic fields. Allegedly, this idea that one could alter time and space by magnetic fields led to a number of experiments that allegedly gave birth to the infamous Philadelphia Project. It is believed that Tesla worked on the idea of time travel, discovering amazing results along the way. Using magnetic fields, Tesla found that the space-time barrier could be altered and accessed by creating a Trojan horse, which eventually led to a different time continuum. However, it is still unclear whether or not Tesla actually achieved this, as there are no documents whatsoever that prove, or for that case, disprove something like this occurred. The only thing we do know is that reports state that in 1895, a witness found Tesla at a small coffee shop, looking shaken and disturbed. His assistant claimed that Tesla was almost electrocuted by a machine as Tesla was trying to solve the time travel riddle. In a New York Times article dated back to 21st of April, 1908, on page 5, column 6, with a headline, "How the Electrician's Lamp May Construct New Worlds," Nikola Tesla is quoted, "of mankind's mastery of the physical universe by merely adopting certain theories," stating the following. Every ponderable atom is differentiated from a tenuous, fragile, vague fluid, filling all space merely by spinning motion, as a whirl of water in a calm lake. By being set in movement, this fluid, the ether, becomes gross matter. Its movement arrested, halted, the primary substance reverts back to its normal state. This normal state, that Tesla is describing, is stillness, where radiation then reverts to its timeline as normal matter. Tesla continues to really open the door to teleporting in the article, stating the following. It appears, then, possible for man through harnessed, coupled energy of the medium and suitable agencies, interventions for starting and stopping ether whirls, to cause matter to form and disappear. Tesla is implying that matter can be manipulated by using intelligent energy by today's technology to both levitate and teleport. He is stating, in effect, matter was not predestined at the beginning of the universe. Matter is dynamic and can be altered and relocated using today's technology. He goes on to state the following. At his command, almost without effort on his part, old words would vanish and new ones would spring into being. He could alter the size of this planet, control its seasons, adjust its distance to the sun, guide it on its eternal journey, along any path he might choose through the depths of the universe. He could make planets collide and produce his own suns and stars, his own heat and light. He could originate life in all its infinite forms. To cause at will the birth and death of matter would be man's grandest deed, which would make him the mastery of physical creation, make him fulfill his ultimate destiny. Now, take this out to another step. Just presume for a moment, first Tesla is right, which through history he was definitely more right than wrong, and some entity in some universe, not necessarily this one we are living in, discovered this, and indeed went on to create their own universe, maybe even this one. We today are a long way away from what Tesla is explaining here, lone enough to ever create a universe. Ironically, this article appeared 3 years after Einstein published his special relativity theory, and almost 20 years before George's Lemaitre hypothesis of the universe's beginning, in 1927, which later was called the Big Bang theory. One should understand, it is the Big Bang and its associated inflation hypothesis that is the only hindrances to both levitating and teleporting large objects today, including humans. Tesla opened the door back in the beginning of the 20th century, and science closed the door some 30 years later. After nearly dying, Tesla claimed he had found himself in an entirely different time and space window, where he could see the past, present, and future at the same time, while staying within the artificially created magnetic field. Regrettably, there are no documents which we were able to find to back up these claims. However, if Tesla tried to achieve time travel, he surely wasn't the only scientist to try. Share your theory in the comments. Do you believe time traveling is possible, and when do you think we will be able to successfully do it? Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and click the notification button to get notified for our next video.